Call for a cab. Since it was raining heavily, I decided to call for a cab instead of walking home. Could you call for a cab while I finish packing my bags? They didn't want to wait in the cold, so they called for a cab from the hotel lobby. Get a cab. We need to leave soon. Can you get a cab for us? It's hard to get a cab in this part of the city during rush hour. She managed to get a cab right outside the airport. Hail a cab. He stood by the curb trying to hail a cab after the concert. In New York City, it's easy to hail a cab on almost any street. She waved her hand to hail a cab, but all of them were full. Take a cab. We should take a cab to the airport to save time. She took a cab home because it was too late to catch the bus. They took a cab from the restaurant to the theater. Drive a cab. My uncle used to drive a cab in New York City to pay for college. She learned how hard it was to drive a cab during the night shift. Many immigrants first find work by choosing to drive a cab in big cities. By cab. We went to the airport by cab because the subway was closed. It's faster to travel by cab late at night when there's no traffic. He usually goes to meetings by cab to avoid being late. In a cab. I left my wallet in a cab last week and had to cancel my cards. They were stuck for an hour in a cab during the snowstorm. I like reading in a cab when the ride is long. Bake a cake. I want to bake a cake for my grandmother's birthday. She learned how to bake a cake from scratch without using a mix. We decided to bake a cake together as a fun weekend activity. Frost a cake. You need to let the cake cool before you frost a cake. The kids helped frost a cake with colorful sprinkles. She taught her daughter how to frost a cake smoothly with buttercream. Ice a cake. The baker will ice a cake with white fondant before decorating. He used a piping bag to ice a cake with delicate patterns. They watched a video tutorial on how to ice a cake like a professional. A birthday cake. We bought a birthday cake shaped like a cartoon character. The candles on the birthday cake lit up the whole room. Everyone sang as she cut the first slice of her birthday cake. A chocolate cake. He surprised me with a chocolate cake for dessert. The bakery is famous for its rich and moist chocolate cake. I ordered a chocolate cake topped with strawberries. A coffee cake. She served a coffee cake with tea in the afternoon. My grandmother's recipe for coffee cake is always a family favorite. The bakery sells cinnamon-flavored coffee cake in the mornings. A honey cake. For the holiday, they baked a traditional honey cake. A slice of warm honey cake goes perfectly with tea. She drizzled extra syrup on top of the honey cake. A layer cake. The wedding featured a 3-tier layer cake. She made a layer cake filled with strawberries and cream. A layer cake looks beautiful when sliced, showing all the colors. A pound cake. My mom baked a classic lemon pound cake. Pound cake is dense but delicious with coffee. We bought a pound cake for the picnic. A marble cake. The baker swirled chocolate and vanilla to make a marble cake. Marble cake looks stunning when you cut into it. She baked a marble cake for her friend's tea party. A sponge cake. Sponge cake is light and airy, perfect with fruit. He baked a sponge cake for the dessert competition. Sponge cake absorbs syrup beautifully. A wedding cake. Their wedding cake was decorated with fresh flowers. The couple cut the wedding cake together. She ordered a wedding cake with 4 tiers and gold details. A white cake. White cake is often used for weddings because it looks elegant. She baked a white cake with vanilla buttercream. White cake pairs well with fruit fillings. A slice of cake. She cut herself a slice of cake after dinner. He offered me a slice of cake with a cup of tea. I saved the last slice of cake for you. A piece of cake. A very easy task or accomplishment. If something is a piece of cake, it is very easy to do. The test was a piece of cake. I finished it in 10 minutes. Driving this route is a piece of cake compared to yesterday's traffic. Cooking pasta is a piece of cake once you learn the basics. The icing on the cake. This refers to something that makes an already good situation even better. Winning the championship was amazing, but getting a bonus check was the icing on the cake. The concert itself was fantastic, and meeting the band afterward was the icing on the cake. Her promotion was great news, and the fact that she also got her own office was the icing on the cake. You can't have your cake and eat it too. This idiom means you cannot have 2 incompatible things at the same time. You have to choose between them. He wants to travel the world but refuses to leave his stable job. He can't have his cake and eat it too. She wants to stay up late watching movies but also expects to wake up early feeling refreshed. You can't have your cake and eat it too. If you spend all your money on luxuries, don't expect to save for the future. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Take the cake. This idiom means to be the worst, most shocking, or most absurd example of something. I've seen many bad movies, but that one really takes the cake. His excuse for being late was so ridiculous, it takes the cake. Out of all the pranks we pulled in college, that one definitely takes the cake.